4 years ago, we launched our original off-road and not a wheelchair called the Rig.
Now, 4 years later, it's time we release our new machine with 4 times the motor and 4 times the power.
It is the world's lightest four-wheel drive accessible vehicle, and we are calling it the Big Rig. We've been prototyping the Big Rig for the past 4 years. Our whole goal here at Not a Wheelchair is to mass produce affordable, accessible equipment, and this Big Rig takes accessibility to a whole new level. Since now, sitting in a Big Rig makes nearly any type of terrain accessible, all while weighing only 210 pounds. I'm pretty biased, obviously, but it's not all sunshine and roses, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, let me show you what's new. We have 4 individual, completely silent 1000-watt e-bike hub motors, which are mounted into standard off-the-shelf 20x4 fat bike tires, with a large motor controller in the center behind the slidable seat. There are 2 side-mounted e-bike batteries and, of course, a pre-installed mounting bracket for our rear rack and accessories, all on top of a much beefier suspension system.
All the operation happens here with the thumb throttle, 2 handheld hydraulic brakes, and 2 steering rods that are upright. And 1 little button for reverse. We also still have the drop-down handlebars for easier side entry.
We've been testing the Big Rig in as many extreme situations as possible. Taylor and Dade led the expedition through the snow-covered Rocky Mountains.
I feel like I'm in Twilight.
In Twilight. These things, there's an electric motor in each of the 4 tires, which is 4 times more powerful than our previous version. And obviously, as you can tell, it is extremely quiet, which makes traveling through this winter wonderland even that much more serene. Uphill through mushy snow gave the Big Rig a run for its money, but we're also venturing into territory where historically wheelchairs just aren't meant to be and have never been before.
Dude, these are awesome. I can't even think of one other device that could do this. It's just so cool to be up to. Hi, Kobe. I thought that was a deer.
Sandy beaches are the arch nemesis of any wheeled vehicle, especially wheelchairs. But having power to all 4 wheels on the Big Rig, along with airing down the tires, definitely improves the performance on soft sand. And while the Big Rig can perform at these extreme ends of the spectrum, it definitely feels most at home on dirt roads and backcountry hiking trails. Each one of the 4 motors is nominally rated at 1000 watts, but in the top level 5 driving mode, which I wouldn't recommend accessing until you're ready, the Big Rig can pull 7 kilowatts worth of power in a 20-second burst, which gets you to the top speed of 13 miles an hour extremely quickly. With more power, we've also increased the weight capacity from 225 pounds on our regular rig to 275 pounds for the passenger and cargo on the Big Rig. Not only that, but the Big Rig also has the ability to tow a 200-pound payload for almost 15 to 20 miles across relatively flat terrain with our custom Not a Wheelchair gooseneck trailer. We've designed it specifically so that jackknifing is a good thing, allowing the rider to access whatever's in the trailer without having to get out of the seat, which is very useful on a farm or camping trip.
Speaking of which, you might be curious as to where the Big Rig can go. And according to the American Disability Act, or the ADA, other power-driven mobility devices are allowed to go in the same areas where members of the public are allowed to go. So, if you're driving the Big Rig and you have a medically recognized physical impairment, you can basically go anywhere outdoors that's open to the public, as long as it's safe.
This is definitely not an indoor machine.
But if you want to buy one and don't have a medically recognized physical impairment, you still can ride it, of course, but there's more restrictions on where you can go.
For example, some parks might limit bikes or e-bikes, but mobility devices, for obvious reasons, are allowed. And with the Big Rig being so exceptionally quiet, Mother Nature herself won't even know you're driving through. Mother Nature, though, at times is inhospitable to these normal off-the-shelf 20x4 bike tires, And a flat tire could really ruin someone's day, which is why we've partnered directly with Tannis Armor Tire Inserts to protect our inner tubes against 95% of common bike flats. Thanks to Tannis, every single big rig will come with a complete set of nearly invincible Tannis Armor Tire Inserts for free. If these bike tires can survive 50 staples, they can handle Mother Nature just fine. Tannis makes armor inserts for regular bikes too, and you should totally check them out. Keep in mind that the Big Rig is not a finely tuned medical device. It's sitting right there at that perfect pinnacle of price, power, and weight, all balanced perfectly to make the most capable and efficient and lightest off-road machine possible. However, while being the world's lightest four-wheel drive accessible vehicle, 200 pounds is still 200 pounds. So we also have a motorized electric self-loading rig rack for easier transportability. The driver can park the rig into the self-loading rig rack, ratchet down the tires, and the hoist handles all the hefty lifting automatically. With the front bumper off, the Big Rig is exactly 5 feet long, 33 inches wide, and 2.5 feet tall with the seat folded down, making it quite nice to transport in the bed of a truck, the back of a Jeep, or a Subaru, if you're able to lift it up into place. You might be asking, is the Big Rig perfect? And the answer to that is absolutely not. We are trying to mass produce the most affordable off-road machines possible, but with that comes some trade-offs. For example, there's no traction control containing wheel slippage that you might encounter in some more extreme off-roading situations. We've mitigated this issue by giving the Big Rig nearly 6 inches of front suspension wheel articulation to help maintain positive traction. But keeping all 4 wheels on the ground is something to keep in mind. Hub motors also, while exceptionally quiet, aren't known for their torquiness. So starting on a steep slope or in super deep sand with a heavy payload is its Achilles heel. And there's just some laws of physics that we can't avoid. The heavier the payload, the more diminished the climbing performance. A 275-pound rider won't be able to climb the same slopes as a 200-pound rider. Physics.
We've teamed up with the largest trike manufacturer in the USA, Utah Trikes, to manufacture these, and they can be shipped now.
And you might think that with 4 times the power and 4 times the motor, it would also be 4 times the price, but that's not the case. We're still shipping our original 2-wheel drive rig for $5,099. And the 4-wheel drive Big Rig is just shy of $12,500 at notawheelchair.com. Both versions are thousands of dollars cheaper than other similarly capable devices. Gamery and I don't make any money from the sale of these machines, and it won't hurt our feelings if you shop around. You most definitely should. We are really excited about this Big Rig, but everyone is different, and that is totally okay. If you want to help support our project though, and our movement to help make accessibility more affordable, you can always pick up one of our annual collector's coins, where 100% of the proceeds go towards making these devices cheaper for those who need them. The coins are just $15 and we make a new one every year. If you get a coin in the next 2 weeks, Cambry and I will include a signed thank you card, because your help is what makes all of this possible.
Just remember, be safe, use a buddy system, wear a helmet, and have fun.
Thanks a ton for watching.
We'll see you around.